My first government job was I graduated from the Coast Guard Academy in May of 1980 and immediately went off to a ship and spent the next 2 years busting drugs down in the Caribbean and protecting fisheries in the Northeast. Essentially an engineering officer in charge of running all the engineering aspects of a 327-foot ship. So right out of college, right into it with responsibility to lead people and run a fairly significant engineering plant. It's designed to learn leadership. Again, you're going to have a crew of 140 people working with you in sometimes very dangerous situations and sometimes in not very good environmental situations. I remember spending months on the Georges Banks in 40-foot seas, and you just learn, about how to work as a team and what your place is in that team and what your responsibilities are. And the leadership piece, beginning to learn that particularly, that was the foundational, and that's why we generally send everybody from the academy right to sea for their first tour to get them that first taste of leadership. Well, after that, I've been a career technologist for the last 32 years, and I decided to throw myself into that work. I enjoyed it, and then I went off to grad school. And I think grad school, really to hone my skills as a technologist, really, that was the key thing that brought me the greatest success over the years. This was 1986. Tech was just starting to explode. I was learning about the internet and basically the first IBM XT computers, and it's a perfect time to hit it. But that gave me the foundation from a technology standpoint where I could really start contributing to all the different jobs I started moving to. So one, learning my skill and sort of the apprentice, journeyman, master, really getting into that journeyman piece and starting to hone my skills in that business. Everybody's going to feel overwhelmed. I mean, especially when you're starting into a new position in your first couple of years, you're going to be overwhelmed. Don't worry about it. Everybody feels that way. But there's things to do to look and get past that. Find a mentor. Find somebody who's already gone through that transition and ask them the questions. The problem I see with many of the younger employees that are coming in today is they don't want to communicate with that one-on-one, that courageous communication of, find a mentor, find somebody who's been through the process that you're about to go through and ask them, how can I do better? What's going to be hard about this? What can I do to make my job easier? So, understand you're not the only one in most cases when you're in a new position or just starting out that's going to feel uncomfortable. If you feel real comfortable, you might want to look over your shoulder. You may not be in such a good place. If you feel uncomfortable for too long, then you need to talk to somebody because that's not a good feeling too. So don't worry about being uncomfortable. Worry if you feel too confident, there may be somebody else right behind you ready to take your position. So. Best, believe it or not, is to improve my writing skills and really learn how to write. I find that that's a skill set that is really becoming difficult to find. Being able to take and put together all your cognate thoughts and getting it down on paper such that you can easily communicate it to a broad group of audiences. I'm finding less and less in that. And I can remember my first couple of jobs, you could literally wring the red ink out of the papers that I wrote, much like being back at college. But those mentors took time to say, look, this is how you write in this environment. If you're looking for this impact, this is how you write for that. And it's a skill set that doesn't matter about anything about technology, but being able to write well is one of those things that I think has really helped me go a long ways. First one I think I mentioned, find a mentor. There's people out there who are willing to help you, believe it or not, and they're going to, probably up in your chain of command. But go find them. They're there. They're willing to talk to you. They want to tell you about their experiences. They may not be exactly what you are. And I think that one will take you an awful long way. Never stop learning. I mean, and I mean, it's formal education, certifications, just reading. But you need to learn something new every day. I mean, literally, I learn something new every day. And that's that constant curiosity piece. And I think that goes an awful long ways to make you a better performer in your organization and just generally a better human being to learn something new. And it doesn't even need to be about your business. You know, learn something new. You know, just don't stay in the same habits. To tell you the truth, this is a problem. Is, you know, the graying of the government workforce. I mean, I think it's almost 50% of the government workforce is within 5 years of retirement. And we're having a hard time attracting, you know, the new talent to come in and replace that group. I'm not sure what it is, but I can tell you this: when you come to government, you are going to get more authority, more responsibility, and more challenges in many cases than you would in jobs in the private sector. Now, that's a good rebound spot for you to go on and do something else, either within government or you take it and translate it back out into the private sector, and then maybe even come back into the government. But I can guarantee you, at least in the United States Coast Guard, I have 21-year-olds who are responsible for a $40 million piece of equipment, and a helicopter flying or a ship out there plying the waters. You're going to get more responsibility, and that goes for any government organization. You will find many times more junior personnel are given responsibility to run acquisition programs that are multi-million dollars, being responsible for more people, which are all great things for your resume, whether it's to further yourself in government or go into private industry. So I think that that's one of the things that government does offer, is it gives you an opportunity to test yourself and really get yourself some good experience.